This is the third video in what was supposed to be a 2-video series about setting boundaries. But I just finished editing the second video, and as I was editing it, I had a lot of reactions come up that hold great implications for how we think about boundaries in regards to gender roles and female social conditioning. The premise of the second video, which I'll link to in the description below so you can watch it if you haven't already, is that my friend Catherine keeps coming over to my house. And even though I've repeatedly told her that I am not going to restaurants during COVID because I'm not comfortable with it and it's not part of my pod agreement, she keeps pushing back and trying to get me to come out and go to restaurants. And at the end of the video, we're role-playing a scene where she's really dismissive of my boundaries. And she's even a little bit gaslighting in her responses to my concerns that I've expressed. But what I really want to show you is the outtake from my first attempt at responding to.
You know, Catherine, I told you the last time you asked me that it was making me feel really uncomfortable that you kept inviting me to restaurants, even though I said I'm not comfortable with it. Let me try that again. You know, Catherine, it really makes me uncomfortable that you keep asking me this. I told you that last time you asked me when you guys were going to Aroma. Okay. This is like a hard battle. Like, even fake setting this boundary is hard.
So to be clear, this entire video was scripted. Catherine's a super nice, super respectful person who would never push back against my boundaries, especially not this hard. But even knowing that what we were doing was scripted and that I wasn't going to hurt her feelings, I struggled to assert myself and to assert my boundaries in a way that was kind but still got the point across sternly. Now I want to show you another outtake. And what this one speaks to is the challenges that those of us who are socially conditioned as female have around expressing anger. And anger is deeply related to boundaries. So let's take a look at the challenges Catherine had play acting a scene where she was supposed to be responding to my boundaries with anger.
Why not? Like, you think you're better than us? Why don't we want to come?
And here's the feedback that I gave her after that take.
But also, don't smile when you say you think you're better than us. I feel like you're a really nice person and it's hard to play angry.
Now, the reason that I'm showing you this footage and that I'm making this third video is that people who are assigned female at birth are socially conditioned to be very nice, right? Sugar and spice and everything nice is the saying. And what's communicated to us is that we need to be very careful about how we ask for our needs to be met. And maybe even just give people some leeway, let people walk all over us. I have to admit, while I was editing this video that I made with Catherine, I did not like how I came across, especially at the end. I watched Catherine's character push against me, ignore my needs, gaslight me, make fun of me, and I watched my own character up the ante on my responses. If I were talking to a client about this situation, I would say, you did perfectly. You did exactly what you needed to do. She wasn't listening to you. She wasn't respecting you. And so you pushed back because she drove you to the point where you had no other choice. But watching myself, I thought, wow, is that what I look like when I'm setting boundaries? Am I actually a self-righteous bitch? Because we've been taught that women who ask for their needs to get met aren't nice. They're not likable. They're not getting along. And so I'm making this third video about boundaries and how gender plays a role in that to validate that if you set boundaries and feel like you're being aggressive or feel like you're pushing too hard or feel like you're being a bitch, that's the result of significant social conditioning. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. I mean, of course, if you're hurting somebody, that's a problem. But if you're just asking for your needs to be met or standing up against somebody who has repeatedly shown you that they're incapable of meeting your needs when you've repeatedly given them a path to do that, that does not mean that you're in the wrong. It means that you are doing exactly the right thing and that you're working hard not only to take care of yourself, which is valuable and imperative, but you're also fighting an uphill battle of dismantling generations of expectations around what it means to be female. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.